been doing with all these exercises, we've never pulled on 2 reins at the same time. That's because, you know, the lateral flexion in different movements, and you know, when he's standing still, he should be super light on my hands. He shouldn't be resisting that, you know, left bend and the right bend. He should be able to do it the walk, trot, and canter. You know, every time I pick up on a rein, his first response is to give me his nose, go down, you know, and then not be heavy on my hands. So, I mean, the horse has had a very good experience so far with the bit in his mouth, because there's no pressure on his, well, there's no pain in his mouth if I'm not pulling on 2 reins. So, and every time he gives to my hand, I give back to him. So it's a great experience for him to understand that there's always a release of pressure to that bit. So then, when we go and start to teach him collection should really feel incredibly soft. I mean, if these are the reins, you know, I should just feel the weight of the reins in my hand. I shouldn't feel the contact of the bit on the horse's mouth. Otherwise, he's just practicing resisting against my hands rather than telling me that he understands what to do, and then he's kind of maintaining a little bit of a self-carriage. So he's kind of pulling his nose in, lifting his own back, rather than me sort of holding his head in place and trying to keep him in a certain shape. So with him, all we're going to be doing is asking him to walk off. We'll start off just at the walk so it's easy to see. So I'm just going to pick up on 2 reins here, and you can see immediately he gives and he breaks at the pole, okay? He's not pulling on my hands at all. And of course, sometimes they do come out of frame, and when they do, then you kind of just add a little bit of pressure with your fingers, but it's incredibly light. So here he's just walking off on a loose rein. He's not collected at all, but you can see as soon as I pick up on those reins, look at my hands, I mean, it's just on my fingertips. He automatically breaks at that pole, lifts his back a little bit because I'm squeezing him forwards with my legs, and now he just feels a lot different than this kind of walk. You know what I mean? But it's only because he knows how to get away from that pressure. He understands how to respond in the right way to my hands. Therefore, he doesn't develop from day one, he doesn't develop heaviness on the rider's hands. He stays incredibly soft. And because we've taught him how to cruise at the walk, trot, and the canter, the reins don't mean, you know, slow down or anything. The reins are just to shape the head and neck. So if I'm walking here and I pick up and I collect him, he's incredibly soft, and then I can just drop the reins and he'll go back to walking. You know, the pace doesn't change with the reins. The pace changes with the seat. Good. So we're gonna do a little bit of that in the walk, and in the trot and the canter, just to give you an idea of how it looks when the horse is collected. And every once in a while, I'll drop my reins so that you see that it's not the reins that's controlling his speed. The reins are just shaping his head and neck. Feeling pretty good here. Every kind of 4 or 5 steps, he sort of makes a little bit of contact with that bit. But most of the time, or let's say 90% of the time that I'm riding him right here, he feels incredibly light. And when I say he makes contact with that bit, I mean it's barely touching it. I just feel that, you know, it's still, the reins are on my fingertips, and he's not even pulling with enough force to slide the reins at my fingertips. And then this is on a loose rein, doesn't change pace, and this is collected. Good. This is on a loose rein, and here he's collected. It's a little bit more difficult for a young horse. Remember, he's only had 30 days of training to kind of canter, especially in a circle around the camera, and maintain self-carriage. So I have to work just a little bit with him here to keep him in this shape, but he's still very light. And then if I release those reins, he doesn't break gait. Pick up, he goes soft again, release, no change of pace. Pick up, control his shoulders, good boy. And we'll